What if the world of animation was struck by evil versions of their heroes? You're about to find out.
Wow.
Hey guys, welcome back to Comic Universe, the only nerd-centric thing you need in your life. Back here again with C-Dubs. And if you guys remember, a little while ago, Dubs and I did a video talking about a cartoon version of Kingdom Come, the DC event written by Mark Waid and artwork by Alex Ross. So this is another thing of taking an event from either Marvel or DC, and what if it was done in a universe where all these cartoon characters existed in a big shared universe? And what would this event be like if that was adapted in that way? And this time around, we're going to go a little more recent. And by recent, I mean like almost 10 years now. Oh, fuck, I feel old. For 5 years.
I think it's more 5 years.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing a adaptation of sorts of Forever Evil by Jeff Johns and David Finch on artwork. And this one's a little different in a few ways, and I'll get to that in a moment. But essentially, the story I had in mind is that there's an emergency because what gets this whole event going is that the moon has been moved in front of the sun. It's an eclipse, and people are like, well, that's not supposed to happen. Like, that happened last year. What the hell happened? What's going on? So, it turns out that there's a group of people on the moon, and they're calling out to every superhero, hey, we did this, and we're going to do a lot worse if you don't come fight us. So Danny Phantom rallies all these superheroes together and be like, we're going to go up there and find out what's going on. Go up there, they don't come back. What does come down, though, is a group of reverse versions of heroes, led by an evil version of Ben Tennyson, who is like the Ultraman of this group.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. And it's this group who call themselves the Syndicate, as of like the crime syndicate. And they're like,
of course. And
they're like, hey, we're here. The world is ours. All these villains come together and we'll tell you more. So all these villains from all around the world and even from the galaxy come together, and they're all like, what the hell's going on? And these villains start just like throwing out all these weapons like, here, proof that we fucking killed all your enemies. We're in charge now. And if you want a piece of the pie, you do what we say. And these other versions of reverse versions I had of these superheroes like Ladybug and Cat Noir. In this version, it's Misfortune and Chat Blanc. You've also got a version of Dipper, who is his reverse version is kind of like the Owl Man of the group, where he's actually like psychic. He's actually got psychic abilities. You've got a version of Star, who's like aesthetically she'd look a little bit like Maleficent.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got like I said, Ben. Danny's villain analog would be more like kind of like Deathstorm.
Okay.
Where he's more like gangly and more like skin and bone, and there's like white hair. His hair is more like Hellfire.
Okay.
And he's like all decrepit, and he talks like this. Like I needed a.
How'd that go again?
Shut up. Like he's all like raspy and like
right, yeah.
Like he looks like a corpse.
Sure.
Yeah. You've also got like I'm trying to think because I had another one in my head, but you get the picture. Like,
yeah.
Actually, yeah. Randy's reverse version would be that he was raised by the Foot Clan, which was in this version. He was actually raised alongside the Turtles, who were also members of the Foot Clan. Splinter,
okay.
Hamato Yoshi, who never got turned into Splinter.
Right.
He's the head of the Foot in this universe. He killed his 4 adopted brothers and took command of the whole family.
Right.
Of the whole Foot Clan. So he's essentially like the Shredder.
Okay.
Yeah. So they come down. They're like, we're in charge now. Your heroes are all fucking dead. Deal with it. And some of the villains are like, fuck you. And one of those is Vlad Plasmius, who is very much like, he's like, no, if anyone's ruling the world, it's me.
Right.
So he goes about like, I can't take these guys on my own, so I gotta go find people who can equally take these people on in a fight. So first person he goes to is David Xanatos, who is, like, I would have a Xanatos and Vlad know about one another. Like, hey, I know that you build a freaking gargoyle armor and fight monsters and shit. And Xanatos is like, well, I know you're half ghost and have essentially taken a lot of companies. You just tried to take mine once. So they're like, well, we don't like each other, but, you know, this Syndicate's a problem.
Right.
So they go out, they get other villains like Shigo, they get Chase Young from Xiaolin Showdown, they get a few other villains together, and they're kind of like the resistance of this group. Meanwhile, it would turn, I had it that rather than, you know, trapped in Firestorm and whatnot, it turns out that the Syndicate has trapped the heroes in like this black dome on the moon. It's like this endless void that is kind of like a phantom zone.
Okay.
And they're trying to get out, but thankfully one person managed to get out, and that was Steven. Steven alone managed to get out, and he escaped.
Steven YOUniverse. Okay,
Yeah.
just making
He
sure.
managed to get back to Earth, but everyone else is trapped. He's like, "Oh God, what do I do?"
Okay.
But so the first thing he thinks about is like, "Well, I'll go back to my mom's armory because I know where that is. I can get some weapons. Maybe I can find other people who got left behind. You know, maybe I'm not the last one." What he doesn't realize is that Vlad knows about that place too, and he's going to go there to get some weapons himself.
Okay.
So they run into one another like, you! But at the same time, the Syndicates found out, shit, Steven's, you know, around. And if people find out they're going to lose their shit, go kill him. You know, so from there, Steven has to force himself to work with Vlad, and his gang of villains would be like Shigo, Xanatos, Mojo.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, Mojo.
Him?
No, well, him would be like, he would be watching all this.
Okay.
Because, like, are you really going to tell him what to do?
In that situation, you never know.
Well, he would be more like, oh, I'm just going to sit back and watch.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right?
Yeah. Plus, Bill, I think Bill would also kind of be like, Bill would kind of be out of this. And I think, like, I also had this idea where Bill actually would show up. But he instantly backs out, like, because the reverse Dipper in this universe, so mentally powerful, he actually, like, spooks Bill. He's like, oh shit, that was what I was, I'm gonna beat it for a while, because
right. you
clearly aren't the pine tree I know. So, I didn't even have it that Dipper also has his own Seuss, much like how Owlman had his own Alfred.
Right.
And his Seuss would be like, kind of like, he would like just explicitly go like, dude, every sentence. Much like how that Alfred went, ah. So, but the other person I'd have on Vlad's team, I forgot to mention, was Shredder. And Shredder on this team...
I thought you said Shrek, but Shredder, I got you.
Yeah.
I follow.
Shredder would be on this team on the reason of they killed the Turtles. Because they were the heroes that went up there as well.
Right.
And they didn't come down. So the Syndicate stole my revenge. So I'm joining your team, Vlad, but only on the grounds of I kill everyone. They took my revenge, I'll take their lives.
Does it make sense? I actually really like that part. That part's pretty cool.
It'd be very much like Manta in the story.
Yeah. Oh, good call. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. That sounds like it's definitely epic. I mean, you know, I really like some of the descriptions that you've laid out, like in terms of the aesthetics, like Danny and everything like that. That's really cool. What about characters, you know, like American Dragon?
Yeah, what happens in New York is that since New York's so full of other characters, is that a lot of groups, now that Jake, the Gargoyles, and a few others are gone, they're much like in Gotham during Arkham War.
Right.
You've got the Foot Clan and the Huns Clan vying for control now.
Okay.
In the middle of it, you've got Demona and her group, and you know she's got her own following now. A lot of mutants and magical beings are like, we're gonna flock behind her because if we get New York, it's like our own kingdom now.
Yeah.
So now New York's in a state of war. Cities like Townsville, Miracle City from El Tigre, the villains are carving up territory.
Okay.
With no one there to stop them. And a lot of these other cities are essentially being just plagued by villains, and a lot of them are making like home for themselves, like you would see in Arkham City or something like that.
Okay.
Like, there'd be certain groups taking up. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that. And if you come near my territory, other villain, I'm going to rip your shit apart.
So how would you see it kind of just all kind of playing out, like, as we're going on with the story? Like, how does it, without necessarily giving everything away, because if you write this, you want to leave some things out in the open.
Yeah.
But
So there would be a prisoner, much like in the story. Yeah, like, there would be a prisoner they bring along, and it is the reverse version of Dipper's sister Mabel. But there's a problem. She's actually possessed by that universe's Bill, who was a hero in that universe. And
so Bill was a hero.
Yeah, in that
yeah. Well, it makes sense. It's reversed. So,
But the problem is he's much like the Bill of our universe, he's psychotic. So in his mind, if you're wearing a costume or have superpowers, you're a bad guy. So he goes around just killing people left and right.
Basically wrecking shit.
Yeah. So Vlad and his team have got to be like, what the f do we do? This thing's a god, essentially. I would have that, you know, this Dipper also is, the reverse version is kind of like, I want to keep this family safe, much like how Owlman wanted to keep Nightwing safe.
Right.
But he goes to Gravity Falls, grab everyone from the shack who didn't go up to the, to the moon with everyone else, and just be like, I'm going to keep you safe. The sister of my universe was possessed by my enemy, the guy I tried to kill for so long. So you guys, even if you don't like it, you're coming with me.
Right.
So I'm going to take you all. You're going to be safe. And if you try anything, I'm going to read your mind and, I'm going to hurt you. So don't.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I even have that the reverse version of Star goes to Muni, her homeworld, and deposes the mother, her mother from that side of the universe. Just takes over again and just takes it over, and she tells all the monsters and demons and stuff, hey, run amok, have fun, go ahead.
Do what you gotta do.
Have some fun. Even out in space, like I said, there'd be some cosmic characters. Even out in space, with all like Voltron and other characters have gone missing, the cosmic villains are now running amok. Because now, there's no one to stop them.
Right.
There's no, the Krang are expanding exponentially. You've got the Triceratons, they're expanding. No turtles, no Salamandrians. Boom, all ours. The Gem Empire, they're like, let's go. Let's take some planets, So it'd be utter chaos all around.
Okay. Any ideas of, in your mind, how you see, any major epic fights or battles?
A few, the giant just gang wars in New York. Like Demona would definitely be. She would be the one that would have the most firepower behind her, because all the mutants and magical beings. Right. I'd even have if you ever saw Jackie Chan Adventures, she'd be backed by Shendu.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like they would kind of get along. I'd even have that Valmont would be on Vlad's team.
Cool.
Because he realized that, okay, this is really bad for business. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I can definitely see it. I mean, it's something, you know me, I'm a huge fan of your work anyway. So I think that's something that would be really cool, and I would like to see it, especially, if there's an artist out there that wants to kind of get in contact with us. Maybe we can make something like that happen someday. Maybe do a virtual comic or something like that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, Forever Evil itself kind of feels like, there's enough villains in the animated universe to
play. Plenty. It's endless, to be honest with you. What about, what's his name? Oh, what is his name? The bird from Scooby-Doo?
Blue Falcon?
No, the villain. For the new Scooby-Doos. Professor...
Pericles?
Yes.
The Para, yeah.
Yeah.
He would definitely be on Vlad's team.
Oh, yeah.
But he would be more like, I'm going to be the brains of your outfit, and the moment this shit ends, bye. I got my Nazi robot army to take care of.
That's what I was saying. I could see an army of robots that he's kind of controlling, just coming in and wrecking shit. That'd be pretty cool, man. I'd like to see it. I mean, again, I mean, just in the terms of animated, you know, the villains. I mean, they don't get enough, especially in a cartoon. They're usually like one and done or hitting. You know, they're here again. Let's just defeat them, and then they, you know, like Shredder back in the day. Let's drill back to the center of the earth and run away till next episode. So I mean, they don't really get the limelight that they all truly deserve. So it's definitely an awesome idea, awesome concept. I'd love to know what the universe thinks and you know what they would do and what they would change.
And who would be on like your team or reverse versions of heroes.
Yeah, like let us know what you guys, if you guys were helping write this story or writing this story yourselves, what do you think, you know, what would you do? Who would you have fight who? What do the aesthetics of those characters look like?
Yeah.
You know, and what would be the outcome? Like how do you end something like that?
Yeah.
What's the final boss, if you will? What's the final battle between that? Is Ben, the evil Ben 10, who's stopping him? I mean, Ben is a powerhouse. People like to sleep on Ben, but if the Omnitrix is working, it's a wrap. That dude can wreck you.
And the idea I had for like Ben's version of aliens is they're more like more like savage looking. Like even Gray Matter looks more like reptilian.
Okay.
Like Fire, like what was it? Hotspot is more like skeletal. And more like he kind of looks like the Phosphorus Man from Batman.
Okay, yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty dope.
But yeah, like I also had like the idea that just real quick for other versions that Marco again from StarDust, the Force of Evil, he would not be like a skinny little kid. His version would be like a giant like hulking monster. Like he's his version of Star turned him into this like kind of like Bane from Batman and Robin.
Okay.
He's like, bomb. Well, like he wouldn't like look like that, but he would be that kind of level of intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically a brute.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah. So there you go. Real quick because I feel like why not? I might as well talk about like. The next one, when we get around to doing another one of these videos, I decided, if it's all the same to you, Chris.
Yeah, of course, man.
The next one we're going to do is, finally, we're going to do a Marvel event. And it's a little more close to our home. I wouldn't say event, more like story arc.
Okay.
And that story, you're going to like this. We're going to do Enemy of the State.
Hell yeah, loving that. Well, guys, let us know again what you guys thought, what you guys think, what you guys would do different, what you guys, dig about what our story here is. And guys, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on the video. Click that little bell to be part of the notification squad. And, maybe we'll send you out on a suicide mission like the Suicide Squad. But
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. You have to click the bell to find out, though. That's the okay. And, guys, until next time.
See you once more in the universe.